And what's good with y'all, man? It's your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, the Michael Jordan of Gaming, back with another commentary. And I wasn't going to post this video at first. I was going to post a Battlefield gameplay commentary, but I felt the need that I had to do this because somebody had a problem with my last video when I was talking about APB, and I mentioned GTA, and I said that Saints Row and APB were both better than GTA. And after I put the video up, I kind of knew that he might get upset about it, because I remember back when we first met, the first thing he heard me talk about was Gears of War, and then I talked about Grand Theft Auto, and I remember he was like, man, what games do you like? I don't think you like any kind of games. So I kind of I thought about it after I put the video. I was like, man, he's not gonna like what I said in this video, and he sure enough didn't. Like, I've never seen him get. Man, he said that my points were invalid and stuff like that. He said he respects my opinion, but my points were invalid and stuff like that. I don't think my points were invalid. I think they were pretty much valid. So I'm gonna bring you both games in this one commentary. So, you know, right here, you're looking at Grand Theft Auto 4. Now, remember I said I didn't like Grand Theft Auto 4? I pretty much think it sucks compared to all the other Grand Theft Autos. Now, mind you, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto since the PlayStation version of Grand Theft Auto, the very first Grand Theft Auto. I remember I bought it because my homeboy told me about it. We went up to Electronic Boutique before it became GameStop. We went to Electronic Boutique, and I bought the very first Grand Theft Auto used. And it also came with like some little English edition where you're like in England and all that, and it's like back in the 60s, like Austin Powers or something. You actually can get like a shag wagon or whatever that Austin Powers car is. It actually is on the game. So I bought that, and I used to play that. And then, you know, I eventually played the second one, and the third one came out for the PlayStation, and yada yada. So my problem with this Grand Theft Auto is, compared to the one that came out before, the predecessor, San Andreas, they took so many features out that San Andreas actually had in the game that made it fun. You can't skydive. You can't rank attributes up, like, you know, your gun skills, your fighting skills. You can't even train in different fighting styles. You can't get your guy to be buff or fat. You can buy clothes, but I mean, you can't swag this dude out. It's lame looking. And then what else is bad about this game that I don't like, man? You can't customize your vehicle. That was a big thing for me. I really like customizing my vehicles. And when I played all the way to like the third island on this game, and I asked one of my homeboys who beat the game, can you customize your car? And he was like, no, you can't do that. There's no way you can do it. And I got upset, and I was like, you know what? I'm done. I stopped playing the game for a whole year or whatever. And you can't skydive. I remember that I was upset that you couldn't fly airplanes. You only could fly helicopters, and I was like, wow. The driving mechanics were horrible. I see what they were going for, but the driving mechanics were just bad. I mean, I don't like realism in driving games already, and then they try to add it to this game, which was a bad idea, and it was just horrible. And then the multiplayer, man, you can't customize your guy. You get a preset guy. The game modes are not even fun. It's like team deathmatch and I don't know what else, but it's not like you go to break in like a house or whatever and you have to go against the other team, which are the cops and stuff like that. It's not like that. It's not like a squad-based kind of gameplay. You don't have gang members, so you can't like squad up with a gang or anything like that. It's basically you by yourself. You feel me? And the fighting, look at the fighting, man. I mean, come on, man. I mean, the other game, man, you could be a boxer, kickboxer, martial artist, and things like that. But they just, I don't know, man. This game was just so dry. I mean, it was so much that they took out from San Andreas that made San Andreas great. But this game right here, on the other hand, took what Grand Theft Auto San Andreas had and put it in their game. No, the graphics aren't the best. It's not better than Grand Theft Auto's graphics. But it comes down to gameplay. The gameplay, it was fun. Now, JG said that my points were invalid because he said Grand Theft Auto isn't about, you know, all that gameplay and stuff like that. It's about the story. Well, me being a person that's been playing Grand Theft Auto since the beginning, the first one didn't have a story. San Andreas is still known as the best Grand Theft Auto that ever came out. And it had a pretty decent story, but it had so much you could do on gameplay because it's a video game. If I want a story, I'll turn on my television and turn to a soap opera. If I want to see a whole bunch of cutscenes of a movie, I'll turn on my, you know, HBO Encore or something to watch a movie. I bought a video game. I don't want to watch a whole bunch of cutscenes or listen to a whole story. I've beaten so many games in my life, and I can't tell you anything that happened in the games. Remember I mentioned Call of Duty? I beat Call of Duty 4. I can't tell you what's going on. All I know is it's a dude named Al-Assad in that sucker. I don't know anybody else's name. I guess Soap. That's the only other person I remember because his name is stupid, Soap. So I can't tell you anything else about the game. All I remember is I was on a bridge and I thought I was dead, and then the old dude, General, the little English he picked me up or something. I don't know. I don't remember. Something happened, and I beat the game, and I got the final, achievement on veteran or whatever the hardest difficulty is. I don't pay attention to stories. No, I mean I beat Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3. I beat both of them, and I can't tell you what happened in the whole story. All I remember are like the final fight scenes. I remember fighting the big boss in the grass and all that. And I remember fighting Solid Snake on some little burning building or something. And that's all I can remember. And something about a Lale Lule Low or something. That's the only thing. I don't pay attention to stories. Stories are not for me. I'm trying to play the video game. I want to have fun playing the video game. I want everything to be in the gameplay and not into the the whole story and cutscenes and all that nonsense. That doesn't do it for me. Now, all right, you might be that kind of person that likes movies or whatever, but why don't you ask the game company just to take all the cutscenes and turn it into a short film and you just watch that instead of playing the game? Because I want things that's in the game. I don't want you to put out a game that came out in 2005 and then put one out in like 2008 and it has less things than it had in the other one, the older one that was on the PS2. That's why I make videos about how Madden needs to get better, how EA needs to make their football games better, because the older PS2 versions had way more things and did things a lot better than the ones that have, that came on the Xbox and the PS3s, the Xbox 360 and PS3s. So that is why I say that Grand Theft Auto 4 is not better than Saints Row 1 and 2 and APB. I don't care if APB doesn't have a single player. It doesn't need it. Sorry about my phone ringing. It doesn't need it because the multiplayer is where it's at. It's everything in the multiplayer you cannot do on GTA 4, and it just makes it so much fun. You be a single player and you don't have nothing to do on multiplayer. What you do? You take the game back, right? No, you got to have a multiplayer or something like that to make the game more fun. You got to have more things in the game that you can do to make the game have more replayability, which Grand Theft Auto 4 does not have. Saints Row 2 has a lot of it. APB on multiplayer has a lot to do. So that's why those games are better than Grand Theft Auto 4. And that's my rant today about Grand Theft Auto, man. I didn't want to do this, but I felt I had to do it because people had a problem with it. So now you know how I feel about the game. JG, I know you're going to make a response video. I don't have a problem with it. I'll watch it and I will still thumbs it up, even if I don't agree. But I'm definitely more than likely just going to make a rebuttal if I have one. If you have a better argument than I do and you put me in my place, I won't make another video because I can't think of a way to come back at you. But if I can, you will definitely be seeing another video coming back at you. But this will be a friendly, debate. It's not a beef or anything like that. It's just a friendly debate. So I don't want anybody to think that we're, beefing with each other, because that's definitely not what's going on. But anyway, man, this is your boy Tick, aka Game Fanatic, Michael Jordan of Gaming, and I'm about to be gone. Bye.